I'm going to test the sound. Tell me if you can hear me okay. I'm working with some new technology, and I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Let me know that I can make the proper adjustments. Good evening, Will. Good evening, Siobhan. Good evening, Ashley. Hey, Carmen Sanchez. Glad to see you on. I hear you perfectly. Good. Trying out some new technology that Minister Vanessa introduced me to. So I'm not sure what I'm doing tonight. But I'm going to get it anyway because that's what I do. Still learning how to adjust the lighting. My husband says, okay, light skin, don't make yourself disappear like a ghost with all that light. So, hey, got to work it out. I'm getting there, guys. It's coming in slowly. I see you on Facebook. Y'all are moving fast. I see 52 of you coming in on Facebook, 53. I see 10 hearts and thumbs already. We're at 56, but I would love it if y'all could hit those likes. Hit those likes. Hey, YouTube. What's up? Everybody can hear me. This is amazing. Thank you again. I even, if you see, titled it, Testing New Technology. So I'll update the title after. But good to see you. Good to see you. Minister Maria doing her job on Periscope. Thank you. And our one and faithful storefront church member at Periscope Street in Periscope, Connecticut, Kiki from Arizona. God bless you. Glad you're with us tonight. Welcome, guys. YouTube still coming in. Good evening. Yeah, Will, he's got some nerve, huh? Just because we don't have all his chocolate color. Sound is good. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much, Minister Carmen. Elena, you are sticking with it, girl. I love it. I'm going to move in your face a little bit again. Still trying to get this light right because my husband says light bright. Don't need that much light. I will adjust the title after so it doesn't just say testing broadcast. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. If you have not subscribed to YouTube, can you please take a moment to do that? I do need the subscriptions. We were at 568 before we started this year, and I see we're at 619 tonight. So God bless you. Thank you, everyone. People were asking me, would you rather us invite people to Facebook or YouTube? I would rather you invite them to YouTube, but I would love if you gave them the option to what works best for them. But ask them, say, could you please do us a favor anyway? Can you just subscribe on YouTube? You don't even have to turn on the notification. You don't even have to know every time that we're on. You don't have to get the ding every time, the notification. But if you could just subscribe, it will help what we're doing. Tell them I'm an evangelist. I'm not selling Kirby vacuums, but I am an evangelist for Soul Detox. And I am working through a process of my life. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be a life coach. Maybe I'm interested in that. If not, it's good training for my ministry. It's good training in my leadership. And if nothing at all else, it's good to live as a healthy human being. Does anyone remember the intro to my book? That one-liner? I am very special, unique, and valuable as a person. I deserve to feel good about myself. That's who we are tonight. I am a very special, unique, and valuable person. I deserve to feel good about myself. Karen says she likes the ding. I know that's right, Karen. Thank you. That's why I love y'all. Go ahead and take a moment and post that if you will. I am a very special, unique, and valuable person. I deserve to feel good about myself. I wonder if I can change it. Watch I go messing around, y'all. If y'all know anything about me, especially with techie stuff, I always start messing around with stuff. But I'm learning this. I learned it like in the last couple hours. Group therapy. Join us. Awesome. Welcome. Make sure you say hello to everyone. Please don't mess up anything. In Jesus' name. Okay, so I'm going to leave it alone. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. Yes, I am. That's right, Ashley. Edith Jackson, that's right. Thank you, Ebony. Diana, amen. Yes, you are. Crystal, amen. Yes, you are. Nanita, hey, hey, hey. Diane Washington, God bless you and good evening. Minister Tasha, Jeanette, welcome. Minister Tanya Coles, what up, Doc? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, Siobhan, I see you're on tonight, probably again, and I'm glad. I hope you make the rest of the 24 days we have together here. I see that YouTube is up to 31, and that's probably going to do for now. Facebook is capping at 98. We're at 98 on Facebook. Welcome, Facebook. Hi, give a shout out, y'all. Give some hands of praise to all those that are checking in on Facebook tonight. So it seems that Sunday night, if we get one more and we tap 100, that means everybody got to dance wherever they at. If we hit that 100 mark on Facebook, everybody got to get up and do a dance. We just went down to 97. Come on, y'all. We got to get it to 100. Hey, there's my sister and my friend, Pastor Yashika. God bless you. God bless you. Reed Chambers, God bless you. Elitza, God bless you. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here with this new app. Thank you again, Minister Vanessa. It has all of the platforms post combined. So I can see everybody's post now. I don't have to have all my 3 screens. Amen. Beautiful. All right. Ooh, we hit 110. Come on. Everybody got to do a dance in their house. I don't care what kind of dance you do. It's in your house. Woo, we hit that 110 and that 109. Come on, 111 on Facebook. Anybody gonna do a little something with me? Come on, we come to celebrate. Last night we was worshiping. Tonight we're praising. That red carpet is still laid out for us for healing and deliverance. Good evening, Prudence. Good evening, Pastor Carolyn. Bless you and your family. God bless you, Lisa Palmer, Minister Jerry. Good evening. I'm going to get ready to start. Minister Yolanda. Hi, Priscilla. Matter of fact, Priscilla, I just remembered it was your name I was supposed to call out for winning on Monday night. And I mixed you up because Ramanita was right in the running with you. So while you're on tonight, Priscilla, God bless you. Welcome, Priscilla Harris from Springfield, Massachusetts, or somewhere in Massachusetts. If everyone can welcome her. She is a winner from the 30-day challenge that I did on Instagram. And Priscilla, inbox me your address so I can send out your gift right away this week, please. We're looking forward to it. That's right. Coach Latanya is asking everyone to please share the broadcast. Welcome, Charity. She's saying hello to people. Welcome, Minister Misha. She's welcoming in the soulmates. That's right. Don't let anybody tell you that's some crazy stuff. If they studied it before they put their mouth on it, they might understand it. All right. Anna. Awesome. Pastor Kareem. Vicky, God bless you. Welcome, Chevelle. I love seeing y'all on here. Awesome. All right. I think every other name I've kind of shouted out already. Use Overly. God bless you. All the way from Texas. welcome. Danielle, welcome. God bless you. I know some of y'all saying you don't have to say my name. Minister Leah, Tennille, God bless you. Lena, good evening and bless you. Good to see you on. Again, Minister Vanessa, thank you very much. I don't need my 3 screens anymore. I can see all comments in one place. What would I do without those who are willing to share the wealth of knowledge? Yes, I am. All right, good. We're in here. Crystal Green, I see you here on the bottom on my screen. Rosa, God bless you. All right. And Bernard, your apostle says hello back to you, Bernard. All right. Welcome. Well, because I love y'all so much, I'm going to do something very special tonight. I'm going to read you another piece from my book. Y'all can't tell nobody because this is for only VIP people. This is only for people that have the best seat in the house. I was working today with the designer for the book cover. If all goes well, we will have the ebook ready by the end of these 30 days. Can you guys believe it? By the end of these 30 days. So, of course, continue to pray with us. So I want to read this because tonight we're going to go in, as promised, we're going to go into talking about automatic thought and distortions. Automatic thought and distortions. It has a lot to do with what goes on in your mind. What goes on in your mind? Where do these thoughts come from? Why are they so wicked and so sick? And why are the thoughts inside of me so against me? Who set up this system, this kingdom that just appears to be an enemy of mine? How did it get there? So we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to recognize and replace self-defeating thoughts. But just because we hit that 100 tonight, and just because y'all have the VIP seat in the house, I want to read chapter 9, just pages from chapter 9 of my book. It's going to be a series. The series is going to be entitled Group Therapy, and I'm going to hit on all the different personality types. We're going to talk about recovering from an unloved mother next month. It's by invitation. It's a Zoom private sealed conference just for us, whoever registers. I've minimized registration. We're more than halfway there already with the open enrollments for the registration. And it's probably going to be between 6 and 10 sessions. I'm still working out the ending, the capping off of the curriculum. But it's going to be 6 or 10 really in-depth sessions. So you can go on to the Wix app. If you don't know, ask someone how to get onto the Wix app. They'll get you on, and you can be turned on and be in with the numbers. So praise the Lord tonight, everybody. Everybody. I think I just figured out what's going on here. It's a good figure. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. On this platform, again, that Minister Vanessa introduced me to, that I've shouted her out 3 times for, what I'm seeing is at number 122, 124. It's the combination of all the platforms together. So y'all got to dance anyway out of me. And I hope everyone did a dance in their house. All right. All right. Are you ready? Chapter 9 from out of my book, Group Therapy, Self-Esteem. What are the consequences of having low self-esteem? What are the consequences for having low self-esteem? Look, y'all, let me be excited for myself for a while. The book. I am so blown away. I hope my husband and I can go to Florida for a few days next week, because I've been burning the midnight oil, sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night, getting up, doing my 30 minutes, body hurting, sleeping 45 minutes before I had a client call. But it's out my brain now and out of my heart. So first of all, let's handle the business at hand before I read this to you. If you did your 30 for 30 today, I want you to go ahead and put an A on the screen. If you did your 30 for 30, go ahead and put your A on the screen. Now, I know that we are self-motivating And part of what I do as a personal development life coach and a certified mental health coach is to take you out of toxic thinking, stinking thinking, bring you through healings and deliverances. So this isn't a platform where I'm going to bring you down. But however, rebuke is good for your life. Rebuke is good for your soul. So if you did not do your 30 for 30, you got to put an F up on the screen. You got to do it. But if you hit A's for the rest of the week, you can bring that F right up out of the gutter and get yourself there. If you heard that ding, I just hit 22 registrants for recovering from an unloving mother. It's a small group held privately on Zoom, and it's effective to start the third Saturday in March. So we're at 22, and I think there's only room for 3 more. So if you're going to get in, get in. Please understand that the amount that it's asking for tonight is just a deposit. That amount will be due for every session. So if that changes things for you, inbox me and I can replace your seat for someone else. But it shouldn't, because I'm telling you, you're going to get way more than it's worth. I promise you. And one thing I want to mention as well before I read this to you is I've been doing this for 5 years and I've learned a lot. I've been able to survey and get statistics and get information, build relationships, just help a lot of people. And it's been a blessing to my soul to be able to do that. It's been a desire of mine since I was a kid to just be a blessing in someone's life. But remember, I had 5 years of experience then. So I was building my my security and my confidence in this commission. So you all got in at a good time. So if you're getting in anytime between $25 and $75 an hour for coaching, you got in really, really good. So I would get in it and get it while you can, because as I train coaches, things with me are going to change to a higher level so that I can deal with more pastors and executives. And I'm going to have those that I have trained to deal with those who are looking for something a little more simpler and a little less costly. But you know, you do get what you pay for. That's in life, period. So just putting that out there, no stress. I do 30 days for 30 hours at $125 an hour. Every January, I give it away. I'm taught as a Christian certified mental health coach through the American Association of Christian Counselors that we are to give away services every year. So I've decided to give away 30 hours in the month of January. And of course, that's not it, because as my heart, I'm a giver naturally. So let's get to work. Welcome. Remember, we're on Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, Amazon Prime, Audible, and we're on all the social media platforms, but those are for podcasts. I welcome you all in the name of Jesus. It's an F if you did not walk, Miss Chevelle. Okay. Why are we talking about these automatic thoughts tonight? Why are we here to even talk about low self-esteem or no self-love? What is the purpose of all of this? What is going on that I need to know about all of this? I'm glad you asked, because there are consequences of having low self-esteem. There are consequences to having low self-esteem. And when we have low self-esteem and we ignore it, and we get into our 20s and our 30s, and then we are dating and we're having relationships and maybe having children. Now we're in our 40s and 50s, and now we have a lineage that's coming forth from our loins, and we still battle with self-love. We have done damage to other people who have depended on us to love them, to nurture them, to care for them. We've done damage because we didn't have any oil in our tank. We didn't have enough to give out to them. So I promise you, somewhere down the line, you are going to have to deal with, even if it's only through a conversation, the fact that you did not love someone you were responsible for the way they needed you to love them. No sin, no shame. We just got to get it right. So there's consequences to ignoring this teaching. There's consequences to putting it off another year. There's consequences to saying, I can't deal with that technology. It's too long. It takes too much time, whatever we come up with. Remember the disadvantages we did a couple nights ago? Use that list when you're trying to convince people, hey, let's do this online together. And then when we hang up the next day, we can get on the phone for a half hour. We can just go through some things together, and I can pray for you and you can pray for me. And we can really make a ministry effective out of this, because there's consequences of having low self-esteem. What are they? Since I was a teenager, I have been aware of things that triggered my low self-esteem and the problems that it caused in my life. With this awareness, I could take appropriate actions to stop, minimize, or resolve my problems. In other words, I had some control over my low self-esteem issue. I might not have the best solutions then, but at least I knew it was something that was affecting my life. Two situations are worse than having low self-esteem. Two situations are worse than having low self-esteem. One, you don't know that you have low self-esteem or you deny it. Number two, you are unaware of the problems caused by low self-esteem. Two situations are worse than having low self-esteem. The first one, you don't know about it or you deny it. The second one, you are unaware of the problems that it's actually causing in your life. Low self-esteem can lead to a lot of problems, some of which we aren't even aware of. Understanding the effects, it allows us to focus on resolving the main issue at hand and tackle many sub-problems in our life at the same time. This is a more effective way of resolving our life problems. So, what are the effects? The negative effects of low self-esteem? Low self-esteem dictates most of our actions. Everything comes from that. Remember last night, that essential, that core, the self, that inner me, the soul. That's the well of life. Everything we do springs forth from that well of life. So low self-esteem will dictate most of the actions in your life. Something we perceive as positive may be an effect of low self-esteem. For example, achievement and success aren't bad to have. But if you are constantly striving for them and you realize you can't stop even if you wanted to, low self-esteem may be the reason for pushing you so hard. You may think that pursuing success is in your best interest, but are you doing it to avoid feeling unworthy? So, in other words, you are controlled by low self-esteem. Your low self-esteem determines what actions you take, not you yourself. Here are 7 consequences of low self-esteem. I'm just going to read the title. When you get the book, you can read the meat on it. And we're going to use this book in our coaching sessions. And for all those that want to stay on for coaching after January, because it's not over at January 31st. Say that. This does not end January 31st. This begins February 1st, because we've rushed through this. We've worked together. We've had unity. We've had a good time. We have cries. We've had laughs. We had a whole lot of emotions going through us, but we had a schedule to move on. But after this is done, you're going to get on your podcast every day and you're going to begin to work the applications out in your life. You're not going to stop working out, because a man who loves himself on the inside shows it on how he speaks and his actions and his health on the outside. So there are 7 consequences that are affecting your life right now due to low self-esteem. Are you ready? Let's go. It can cause you to spend too much time working. It can cause you to spend too much time working. Are you afraid of making mistakes or letting someone know you make mistakes? If so, your low self-esteem may be causing you to work harder than anyone else. Why? People with condition-based low self-esteem rely on their work to make them feel good and significant. They are afraid of letting others know they aren't feeling good enough. So they are perfectionists at work, avoiding making mistakes to cover their internal defects. Doing a good job is necessary, but is doing it perfectly necessary every time. It's going to be a good chapter when you read it. Number 2, it can cause you to do other people's work for them. It's called enabling. That's another effect of not handling low self-esteem. When you have low self-esteem, you tend to do things for other people, even their work. There are several reasons why low self-esteem people do this. Helping others make them feel needed and worthy. That's why a lot of women, or men, I should put it this way, that's why a lot of human beings will stay with addicted people, because their self-esteem is so low. Taking care of that addict, being there for that addict, and that self-esteem is so wicked, because even looking at the addict makes them feel, at least I'm not like them. Cool. Shirerebo say, I promise you, this is true stuff that I'm teaching you. Low self-esteem may have you in that very relationship that you're in. So what's going to happen when you come out of this with a well streaming forth with living waters? You're going to get counseling together, and you're going to start growing together. God bless you, Pastor Terry Scott. What's the second thing? You are used to putting other people's needs over yours, that you can't say no. You don't have clear boundaries in your life or profession. And the last part I'm going to give you from number 2, you think you are the only one who can do it. This could also be true for high self-esteem people. And I have a chapter on high self-esteem people, how to get high self-esteem, what is the benefits of high self-esteem, how to maintain high self-esteem, how to have high self-esteem and not be narcissistic. It's all in the book. Helping others is not the same as doing their work. Helping others is great, but if you are helping someone do what they are supposed to do, then you are crossing the boundary. You can point them in the right direction. Listen, Apostle House ministers and elders, you can even teach them, influence them, but not enable them, and provide them with resources without doing the work for them. What's more, if you resent doing their work, but you can't say no, then it's because you do not value yourself enough to set boundaries, even within work. Number 3, we're dealing with the consequences of low self-esteem and avoiding getting the work done on this. It can make you procrastinate and feel unmotivated. Both procrastination and enabling causes you to stay late doing other things than what you are purposed to do in a day. What's ironic is when it comes to helping others with their work, we are willing and quick to say yes. But when it comes to our work, our house, our study time, our prayer time, we tend to procrastinate and feel unmotivated. On a logical level, we get it that when we do our job well, we are likely to get recognized for our success. However, on a subconscious level, we don't believe we deserve to be worthy and successful, so we sabotage ourselves by procrastinating. Let me see the little emoji with the hands. How many battle with procrastination? I see you, Clarissa. Absolutely. Those are some powerful nuggets that I had to get out of my own head so I can scribe and get it done, is because we are to influence them, show them resources, teach them, but not do it for them. A lot of mothers do this, and then somebody has to marry that child that you enabled, and then we got jacked up stuff we got to deal with. Hello, somebody. All right, let me skip down because you got to get the book to read it. Number 4, for relationships, consequences we're talking about. For relationships, It can prevent you from connecting with others on a deeper level. When you have low self-esteem, you feel ashamed of who you are. It's difficult to connect with others on a deeper level because you don't want others to know the vulnerable part of you that you are ashamed of. You distance yourself from others because you are afraid of being hurt or exposed. No one will understand you when you hide your true self from them. This loneliness is just an effect of low self esteem. Low self esteem makes you feel defective internally, as though you are the only one who is unworthy. But in reality, many others feel the same way about themselves as you do. And just like you, they aren't sharing their vulnerabilities either. So no one knows. When you compare your inside, listen to this. When you compare your inside with other people's outside, you are bound to feel more unworthy, different, and lonely. Say la. Say la. I promise y'all 7. And I'm only reading a couple lines out of it. It's just so hot. I got to read it so I can also look for my edit mistakes. Number 5, it can cause you to have trust issues with yourself and others. Trust is a big thing in relationships, especially intimate relationships. Imagine this. Your partner loves you for who you are, but you, on the other hand, don't think too highly of yourself. How does someone who doesn't believe they are worthy of love trust that another will love them? Your mind cannot comprehend why someone would love a defective person like you. Whenever your partner compliments you or does something for you out of love, you will naturally be doubting if they are genuine or not. You will constantly seek confirmation from your partner, in turn irritating them, and they may leave you over that. What you end up finding, though, is evidence that he or she doesn't love me just like I thought. Remember the cycle? Remember the cycle we've been building the last couple of nights? Number 6, consequences of low self-esteem and not doing anything about it. Anxiety. Anxiety. Low self-esteem causes anxiety. When you don't feel good about yourself, very often you are worried about how others will feel or judge you too. This creates anxiety and stress. When you interact with others, you are afraid of saying the wrong things, being boring, or having nothing to say. Number 7, low self-esteem creates a vicious cycle of anxiety. And when you don't perform to your expectations socially, you blame yourself for not being good enough, which in turn creates more anxiety the next time you interact with others. Improving your social skills and building confidence will help you ease some of your anxiety. However, if you don't believe you are worthy enough, you will continue to avoid these sessions. Number 8, it makes you confuse love with self-esteem. That one is powerful. Let me read a little bit for you. Having low self-esteem, you expect people to treat you badly. When people are being just quite nice to you, you feel overjoyed and have unrealistically good feelings for them. Somebody's just being nice to you and you're in love with them. This can be easily mistaken as love and also scare people away from you who might be just interested in being your friend. You're scaring people away. You're losing relationships because you're giving your soul and your blood to them and they just wanted to be friends. But you just can't believe somebody's actually being nice to you, that you are all in with them and they can't deal with it. Number 7 is low self-esteem creates a cycle of anxiety. Creates a cycle of anxiety. Let's go. Number 9, it makes you have a lower hand in your relationships. It makes you have a lower hand in your relationships. As you think your partner is too good for you, you bear things that you shouldn't stand for. Sometimes you even confuse love with self-esteem. Are you giving in really because you love him or her that much? Or are you just scared not to speak up? Number 10, it makes your employers or those you are committed to feel that you're not talented. It hides your talents. People with low self-esteem sometimes are gifted, but they don't know how to show it. They do not know how to sell themselves. Number 11, it can lead to depression. Over time, low self-esteem can lead to depression. According to a study done by the University of Basel, research psychologist Dr. Lars added that low self-esteem is a key factor in both the development and maintenance of your depression. That's why you took the Burns anxiety test assessment. Forgive me for calling it a test. It's an assessment. That's why you took the Burns depression assessment. And that's why you took the Burns relationship assessment, because low self-esteem is going to show up in all three areas. And if you heard anything from chapter 9 of my book, you will realize that low self-esteem will also keep maintaining your depression. Now that's horrible. That's horrible. You don't want to do that. You don't want to maintain bad things. Amen. All right. So let's deal tonight. I'm looking at the screen. Y'all look good. I'm seeing whoa, mic broke. I like it. Friend zoned. My God, my God. Wow. I had to take a breath and miss number 10 and 11. All right. Just because I love you, Pastor D, I'm going to go back and not make you go to replay just for those. Number 10 and 11 is, you're in chapter 9. It makes your employers feel that you're not talented. You come across as not being talented to people. You're just a backstage person. You're just an errand boy. No one recognizes your talents because you do not sell yourself well at all. And number 11, it leads to depression and also helps to maintain depression in your life. It's a maintenance drug. It's a maintenance to low self-esteem, is a maintenance to depression. My. All right. So why are we here and why are we doing this work? Because tonight we need to recognize and replace self-defeating thoughts. Self-defeating thoughts, also known as ATD, automatic thoughts and distortions. Although all humans are infinitely worthwhile, all do not necessarily have a sense of their own worth. One reason is that negative, depressing thought patterns can erode one's sense of worth. Please note that we're not saying that worth is eroded, only one's ability to experience it. Consider this situation. The boss scowls as you pass by through the hallway. You begin to feel down. You begin to think, I'm going to lose my job. You begin to think that they don't like me. You begin to think that they're racist. You begin to think that they have gender issues. You begin to think that they're jealous of you. Come on, we hear it all the time. And in some cases, this can be true. But if it's at every job, we may have to look a little deeper at the common denominator. So right away, let's just say his name is John. John begins to feel down on himself and he thinks, oh no, he's upset with me. Bill only gets concerned and disturbed when he has a problem with me. This is what he tells himself. This is the self-talk. This is the self-defeating thoughts. This is the automatic thought distortions. Okay. Why can't it be that the boss is probably having another bad day? Why can't it be that the boss has personal issues at home and is probably taking it out on you? It could be that. What is the difference between the two thoughts, the one that John had and the two that I just simply threw out there? Not the event. The event stayed the same, but the way John and I thought about the event is what made it different. We have to work on our thoughts. It's our thoughts. A branch of psychology called cognitive therapy, which we get to even use to a certain degree as life coaches. And I love it because when it goes past the level that I'm able to use, I can pass them on to psychiatrists or psychologists. And then we work together as a maintenance team to carry them through to to good health, to absolutely good health. Thank you, Annie. God bless you very much. A branch of psychology called cognitive therapy has identified specific thought patterns that attack self-esteem and lead to depression. What leads to depression? We've said it twice. We said it in my book in chapter 9, and now we're reading it out of the Harbinger's book. What is it that leads to depression? Low self-esteem. We got you, Chevelle. That's right, James Dale. You better know it, being married to the doctor. These thought patterns have been learned. Did you hear that? You didn't hear that. Let me back it up a little bit. A branch of psychology called cognitive therapy has identified specific thought patterns that attack self-esteem and lead to depression. These thought patterns have been learned. And so that means the good news, they can be unlearned. Cognitive therapy provides an effective, straightforward way to eliminate these self-destructive thoughts and replace them with more reasonable thoughts. The model developed by a psychologist, Albert Ellis, is simple. He uses A, B, C. Write it down. A, B, C. Because after this, some of y'all may come for mental health coaching. Some of y'all may go straight to a psychiatrist. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Trying to see what y'all writing. A stands for activating. A stands for activating. Activating. B is for belief. B is for belief. And C is for consequences. Activating, beliefs, and consequences. Activating, beliefs, and consequences. A stands for activating or upsetting events. B is for belief or automatic thoughts that we tell ourselves about A, right? C is the emotional consequences or feelings such as worthlessness or depression. Most people think A causes C. In reality, it is B, our self-talk, that has the greatest influence at all. Whenever an upsetting event occurs, automatic thoughts kick in. They're automatic. Automatic thoughts kick in, and they run through our mind like kids on recess. Although we're each capable of thinking reasonably about upsetting events, sometimes our automatic thoughts are distorted or unreasonably negative. Distorted automatic thoughts occur so rapidly that we hardly notice they are there, let alone stop to even question them. That's the sad part. We don't even stop to question them because they're so automatic and they're playing in the background. You know how you're at your job doing your work, or you're cleaning your house and you just got music in the background and you're singing the music and you're getting your work done. And, you're not even realizing later on, why is this song stuck in my head? And then you realize the song is stuck in my head because I've been playing the song while I was working or cleaning today. It's just become automatic to you. Then you start singing a song, or you watching TV and a commercial comes on and it has a catchy tune or a jingle to it. And then it sticks to you and it sticks in your mind and it becomes an automatic thought for you. Well, negative thoughts do the same thing. Self-defeating thoughts do the same thing, because your mind is always looking for a memory to connect with the current situation so it can run to the front of your conscious mind. Your subconscious runs all the way to the front of your conscious mind and tells your conscious mind, this is familiar to when mommy slapped you in front of everybody on the school ground. And she came down there in her pajamas with a rip and rollers in her head. Not only did she embarrass you, she degraded you. She emasculated you. Remember that? This is how we feel. Okay. And then your subconscious and your conscious run to a familiar memory, and then the automatic thoughts kick in like a vending machine. Automatic thoughts occur so rapidly that we hardly notice them, let alone stop to question them. Yet these automatics profoundly affect our mood. They affect your mood and sense of worth. in this program, what we're working on, you're going to learn to catch these distortions, challenge their logic, and replace them with the thoughts that more closely align with reality instead of thoughts that depress. Come on, Tanya. This is when I use the scales. You know the scales, the measuring scales. They use them to for weights. They use them. It's a logo for attorneys and lawyers. The scales. This is when I use with my clients, and what I have them do is, okay, go ahead. Let's write on some papers or something all the thoughts. And if I have them doing it in a journal, if we're on a virtual phone call, I have them write it in their journal, and I want you to put underneath the left side of your scale the event that happened. And then on the right side, I want you to put every thought that you're having about it. And then with the event that happened, I want to help you understand some truths. Let's talk about it a little further and find out if this is some truth to this or not. So then we begin to write, and then we look at the scale and we see the scale is unbalanced, that the thoughts that are in your mind, they're just automatic, they're self-defeating, and it's a memory in your past that is telling your present, this is how we felt when Uncle so-and-so died. This is how we felt when we were touched when we were younger. And now we're married and we're in a blessed holy union with our spouse, and we cannot get involved the way we ought to get involved. We cannot respond to their love and their desire for us, because to us, that's familiar in my mind to when I was touched. And I want to be connected to you. I want to show you how much I love you. I think about it all day long. And then when I get home to you, the memory comes back and I regress. Why can't I fight this? Why can't I break it? Because your subconscious runs up and tells your conscious, this is familiar, even if it's not true. The majority of the times, it's not true. And that's the work that we have to begin. Casting down every imagination. And it's not just saying, I cast down every imagination. No, you need to get on a phone call. Hi, so-and-so counselor, so-and-so therapist, so-and-so life coach. I need to cast down some thoughts. You can't usually cast down thoughts by yourself. I mean, the little ones, that you got to cancel while you're walking in a building or something like that. But casting down thoughts is work, because you have to unpack that thought. What is it relating to? Why are you seeing it this way? How come the two of us had the same experience? We both called the same individual, and the individual didn't answer either of us. They sent us both to voicemail. How come you take it personal and feel rejected and wouldn't leave a voicemail because your feelings are hurt? And I left a very pleasant voicemail and moved on with the rest of my assignments. It's the same event, but we're having a different experience from it, because here comes old subconscious running to the front of the stadium to tell you, oh, this is just how your mother did you. This is just how your grandmother did you. This is how your last boyfriend did you. This is how your family did you your whole life, your black sheep. Now you're going to tolerate that with this friendship. Then you isolate, you disconnect. Cycle. That's exactly what it's called. So what are some of the things that we need to replace these self-defeating thoughts with? Let's unpack it. Let's unpack. We have a few more minutes left. Let's unpack this thing. Okay. Let's unpack the word assuming. Thank you, David Thomas. Let's attack the word assuming. Assuming. In some circumstances, we assume the worst without testing the evidence. That's what the scales do. That's what the weight is on there for. That's why we use a plumb line, because we usually assume the worst without testing the evidence or the facts. Thank you, Karen. For instance, in this prior example that I gave you about the boss acting up one day to John, he wasn't angry with John. He had some other issues going on. John could have tested the evidence, tested this assumption by simply asking, are you angry with me? Do I need to apologize for something? You can disarm someone instead of coming. You got a problem with me? If people, I can't stand when people, 6 people in the room, and you can't address the one you're talking to. I can't stand when people have a problem with me. I wish they would come to me. Well, if we knew what you were talking about, maybe we can deal with the person who's not coming to you. You're doing the same thing they're doing, generalizing, looking like Google Maps. You're looking at the earth and we just want to find one house on one street. You got to zoom that joker in. Go to them, disarm them. Did I offend you? Is everything okay? You just seem a little snappy today, and I'm in a good mood, and I just want to, make sure everything's all right here. You can disarm people. You don't have to come to them with this overgeneralization, and then believe it or not, you look crazy. And trust me, they talk about you after. I worked in HR for over 15 years. I was HR director, and I knew all the conversations that went on. I was one person that was for the employee, and they set us up like HR is a union rep. It's like a place for employees. It's really not. Just making sure that the boss don't break the law so we can fire you without having a real reason to do it. So it's all about legal terminology and all that stuff. But I was the one that was always for the employee, and I would tell them their rights, and I'll tell them what to say and what not to do. And I would tell them, disarm them. Do you like your job? If you don't like your job, then leave. But if you like your job, disarm them. Why are you going at them the way you're going at them? They'll think you're nuts. They think you're crazy. Don't do it that way. Stop assuming. Stop defending. Put the gun back in the side. You'll be okay with that. I promise you. Other examples of assuming self-talk include, I know I won't enjoy myself. So you hinder yourself from going places. I know I'll do a lousy job even though I'm prepared for this assignment. More reasonable self-talk looks like this. I might or might not enjoy myself, but I'm going. I might or might not do a good job, so forth and so on. But I'm going because I want to live, and I want to live my best life now. When I battled as a young mom, pregnant at 16, had my son at 17, had no self-esteem, had nothing to give this child that I birthed, nothing, brokenness, hurt, shame, rejection, pain, confusion, anger. That's all I had for him. God help our soul. And I remember going to events at the job, and they would have a Christmas party, and I would go, and I would be late always because I have to talk myself up to go. Then I have to talk myself up to get dressed. Then I talk myself up to get in the car. And then I'd get to the banquet hall or whatever, and I'm sitting outside in the car. Sometimes almost an hour. Sometimes I would turn around and go right back home. And I would tell myself every reason, they don't really want you there. You're late now, so it doesn't matter why to go. Every single reason not to go. Occasionally, somebody would come out and see me and say, hey, what you doing? Come out to smoke a cigarette or something. They'll see me and they'll pull me inside. Other than that, I would talk myself out of things. Because if you don't know that you matter, why am I going to expect someone else to think that I matter? Let's talk about the fairy tale fantasy. Let's talk about the fairy tale fantasy. The fairy tale fantasy means demanding the ideal from life. Demanding the ideal from life. This is really a special type of should. That's not fair. Or why did that happen to me? Often means the world shouldn't be the way it is. In reality, bad and unfair things happen to good people. Sometimes randomly, sometimes because of the unreasonableness of others, and sometimes because of our own imperfections. To expect the world to be different is to invite disappointment in your life. To expect that others treat us fairly when they often have their own ideas about what fear is also to invite disappointment in your life. Again, a would or a could is a wise substitute for should. It would be nice if things were ideal, but they're not. But I want to live my best life now. Too bad. Now I wonder what I could do to improve things for myself. Another one, shoulds, musts, and oughts. Shoulds, musts, and oughts. Shoulds, including musts and oughts, are demands we make of ourselves. For example, I should be a perfect person. I should be the perfect lover. I must not make mistakes. I should have known better, or I should be happy and never depressed or tired. We think that we motivate ourselves with such statements. Usually, though, we just feel worse. For example, since I should be so and so, and I'm not that way, I then feel inadequate, frustrated, ashamed, and now hopeless. Yeah, deep stuff. Y'all with me? And watch when hope comes in. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, and you will actually have a broken heart. Perhaps one of the only reasonable shoulds is that humans should be fallible. Just as we are given our backgrounds, our imperfect understanding, and our present skill levels, if we really knew better, that is, if we clearly understood the advantages of certain behaviors and we were perfectly capable of behaving that way, then we would be better. One solution to this type of thinking, then, is to replace shoulds, woulds, and coulds. It would be nice if I did that. I wonder how I could do that. Or replace should with want to. I want to do that because it is to my advantage, not because someone is telling me I should or must. Do you get it? You get it? You got to change your thinking. You got to change how you process thoughts. When you change how you process thoughts, then your whole mood and behaviors begin to change. Absolutely. And see if I got time for another one. Probably for one more. How about the all or nothing thinking? The all or nothing thinking. With all or nothing thinkers, you hold yourself to the impossible standard of perfection or something close to it. When you fall short of this standard, you conclude that you are a total failure as a person. For example, if I'm not the best, I'm a flop. If I'm not performing perfectly, I'm a loser. If I score below 90%, I'm a failure. A rough edge means I'm all bad. This type of thinking is unreasonable because such absolute black and white extremes rarely exist. Even if it were possible to perform perfectly, and it isn't, performing below standard usually means we've performed at 85% or 35%, really at zero. And poor performance never makes a complex person worthless, just fallible. Ask yourself, why must I always bat 1,000? Why must I always bat 1,000? Ask yourself, what is it in me that I need to cover up with this perfection? Who told me? Who showed me? Why do I feel that if I'm not perfect, then I'm nothing? If my work isn't great, if my grades aren't great, then I'm nothing. Dr. Cynthia Howard, God bless you. Welcome on tonight. That is my friend and my dear. She's my, I've got to give you a special title. I know each counselor has to have a counselor. And I noticed that licensed clinical social workers have supervisors over them. You're just my everything. So God bless you, Dr. Cynthia Howard. I'm glad to see you on tonight. She refers people to me and everything. I mean, this woman's she's just dynamite. God bless you. All right. Overgeneralizing. Let's deal with the overgeneralizing. Overgeneralizing is deciding that negative experiences describe your life completely. For example, I always ruin everything. I always get rejected in love. No one likes me. Everybody hates me. I never do well at math. Such global statements are unkind. They're unkind, depressing, and usually inaccurate to some degree. Let me say those words again, because I want you to really have a problem with those words. Overgeneralizing is deciding that negative experiences describe your life completely. You know how many meetings you can have with an individual, and you have to meet with them 3 and 4 times before you can get them to, remember I used that Google Maps as an example. What's the problem? Well, the world. Well, what happened? The world. Everybody says, everybody did, everyone this. And then we keep clicking and we keep clicking and we keep clicking until we get to the street that we're really looking for instead of looking at the globe. The enemy is behind overgeneralizing. He loves to keep us overwhelmed, loves it. What are some overgeneralizing statements? I always ruin everything. I always get rejected in love. Who am I speaking to? No one likes me. I'm peculiar. I'm different. See the excuses now? Instead of dealing with the soul of the matter, everybody hates me. I never do well at math. I can't pray like them. I can't preach like them. I'm not educated like them. I don't speak well like them. Such global statements are unkind to yourself. They are depressing and usually inaccurate to some degree. The antidote is to use more precise language. Some of my skills are not yet well developed. And then do something about it. You're probably going to need a life coach or a counselor if you are low in esteem and you want to come out of this, because you need someone to push you into it. Because it's easy, you will read in my book that it's easy to say some of my skills are not well developed and I'm going to change it, and then do nothing about it. That is the biggest thing. That's the self-help lie. The self-help lie is that if I say good things, if I quote scriptures, if I just make a bunch of affirmations, great things are going to happen to me. And that's a lie. That's the biggest lie that's out there told. You have to do some work behind it. Get someone involved. Get a friend, get a mentor, get someone who may be a minister or an elder in your church, someone you look up to. Again, a life coach, a counselor, a therapist. Get someone that can help you take the guided self-help that you've learned and put hands and feet to it. The antidote is to use more precise language. Some of my skills are not yet well developed. I'm not as tactful in some social situations as I'd like to be. Sometimes people don't approve of me, but sometimes people do. Although some aspects of my life haven't gone well, that doesn't mean I never do reasonably well. Be a healthy optimist. Expect to find small ways to improve situations and notice what's going well. What does that mean? That means turn it around. Why keep failing in something? Why keep thinking negatively or something? Why keep putting yourself down in something? Take the steps to do it. I want to get a better personality. Why do I always go through friends? Why can't I maintain in relationship? You need to get someone involved in that with you. Because if you seem to be the common denominator in all these situations, it's time to look at the man in the mirror and then get some help with it. If you continue to battle it on your own, you're going to feel stuck. The enemy comes in and makes you feel hopeless. And then when hope is stolen from you, it's deferred from your life, and it could be deferred for the rest of your life. And then the Bible tells us that we have a sick heart. We have a broken heart when we lose hope. Why? Turn the thought around and then get some help with it. I want a better job, but I can't get a better job because I'm in my 50s. And I need some skills. Get someone to help you with the skills. They've got Google for Dummies, typing for dummies, word processing for dummies, www for dummies. They got typing in Excel for dummies, Word for dummies. Our church gives out classes. I mean, the churches are even trying to bring education back to the forefront. Don't just sit there and be upset with your age and that you did nothing for your life, because as long as you still have breath, you still have life, which means you still have hope. Do something about it. Just get someone. If you can, pay someone, because you get more when you pay. Than a friend can be tired, and you call them at the wrong, is a bad week, or when you call them it's always the wrong time, and then these things start not happening, and then they just never happen. Get someone that you paid for, that they're accountable. Things are going to happen and they're going to make it work. Absolutely. That's right, Dominique. Amen. Get someone to help you. And I don't care how smart you are, how old you are, how young you are, how lacking or challenging in math or English or comprehension or college level learning. There's always someone that can get you through it. Always, always, always do something about it. And the last one I want to bring to you for tonight is labeling. Labeling. You'll hear that word a lot with this generation. Oh, I don't like labels. Okay, but you just gave me a label. I mean, unbelievable thinking. But we're going to deal with labels before we go tonight. Sometimes you may give yourself a label or a name, as though a single word describes a person completely. For example, I'm such a loser. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I'm boring. To say I am stupid mean I always in every way am stupid. In fact, some people who behave quite stupidly at times also behave quite intelligently at other times, because humans are too complex for simple labels. Confine labels to behaviors, not yourself, not your essential self, not your soul, not your being, not God, who said he made you wonderfully, created you on purpose, for a purpose, knew you before he formed you. Don't label everything about you because of an action or insecurity or a flaw that you're having. Some people who behave quite stupidly at times, anybody ever behave quite stupidly at times, also behave quite intelligently at other times, because humans are too complex for simple labels. Confine labels to the action and not your soul. That was a silly thing that I did. Or ask, am I always stupid? The answer will always come out, no. Amen. All right, we're done with this for tonight. We've got a lot more to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, we got to deal with some more labeling. We got to deal with the automatic thoughts. We're going to finish this up before we move into closer to procrastination and perfectionism. We're going to deal with dwelling on the negative. Any negative people in here? Is anyone that people always tell you, you are always negative? Anyone in here? You hear it more than just one person? Because if you hear it from more than one person, then it's worth investigating about. Yes, that's right. Confine the labels to actions and behaviors, not yourself, not your essential soul, not your core self, not self. A lot went in for you to be wonderfully, creatively made in the image and the likeness. A lot went in that. Confine the labels to the actions and the behaviors. Any negative people here? Always dwelling on the negative. Maybe you don't want to be honest and say it's you. Maybe you know someone that's like that. Thank you very much, Minister Katrina. We're going to deal with those dwellers, dwelling on the negative. We're going to deal with rejecting the positive. We're going to deal with unfavorable comparisons. Who do you compare yourself to? We're going to deal with personalizing. Ooh, that one takes us out. Personalizing, blaming, blame shifting. And we're going to deal with, we're going to spend a little time in your day checking out your daily thought record. I'm going to put a timer on. And every 3 to 4 hours, I want you to stop and go over what was in your mind that you can remember and write it down. And I want you to start paying attention to some of your thoughts. And then we're going to deal with your common core beliefs. And I'm hoping to get all that done tomorrow night. Common core beliefs, because we've got some heavy stuff to dig into. Well, that's it for me tonight. Remember, you can replay hashtag, wow, I am so full tonight. You say that to me. She has a powerful testimony that she shared with me as well. Yep, the email they're posting up on the screen, info@SuzanneMHoward.com. And remember, the podcasts are on. We're doing them at night now before we end our shift, so you can listen to them starting anytime after about 12 or 1. And so you have your podcast, you have your replays, you have your journals. And don't forget your 30 minutes of physical activity every day. 30 minutes, jog in place, do some dancing. I would love if you got out when the sun was out, like 12 and 2 in the afternoon, 12 and 3 in the afternoon. Get the vitamin D. We need the vitamin D, especially here in New England. All right, I am done. Let's go ahead and speak a word of prophecy over each other tonight from 3 John. Are you ready? Let's go. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you and good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to remember 30 for 30. God bless.